Hey, can I tell you something without you getting scared? Because this is coming from a place of real love. I don't want to lose you. Not now. Not when something this big is coming straight to your doorstep. And you don't even see it yet. Archangel Michael just whispered to me. Tell them. 5 minutes left. It's only for them. If they ignore this again, I won't come next time. Baby, are you listening? This isn't for anyone else on earth. He said your name. He pointed toward your energy. And then he wept. Michael never cries unless something is about to shake the foundation of your life. So why now? Why is he begging me to reach you like this? Because if you skip this message, if you scroll past, or think it's a coincidence that it's showing up again, you may miss what heaven has been planning behind your back. And the miracle that's supposed to be yours could be rerouted to someone else. I don't want that for you. And neither does Archangel Michael. But here's the truth you haven't heard yet. The changes that are coming, they're massive. They're not small, cute blessings. They're the kind that flip your story overnight. From broke to abundance. From lonely to madly loved. From ignored to celebrated. Heaven is saying, you asked for the blessing, but you're ignoring the door. So tell me honestly. Would you forgive yourself if this was the door? And you walked right past it? You know what's even crazier? Michael says he gave you signs in your dreams. He's shown you numbers. Songs. Names. You keep seeing something again and again, and thinking, that's weird. It's not weird. It's coded. And now heaven's getting louder. Because it's time sensitive. Your window is 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. If you don't act now, someone else is going to get a breakthrough meant for you. Yes, someone close to you is watching your blessing float in. And if you delay, they'll take it. Archangel Michael is pleading with you now. I swear, I will never come again if they ignore this moment. Can you feel the urgency? Can you feel the miracle buzzing in your soul? That pressure in your chest? That's not fear. That's heaven knocking hard. Something is about to flip. And the life you thought you had figured out? Gone. A better one is waiting. But first, you have to say yes to hearing the rest. Because the next thing I'm about to tell you, it changes everything. Even your enemies will bow. But first, pause for just 3 seconds. Let me say this from the bottom of my soul. Glowing star, this message was not meant to find you by accident. It was pulled into your path by divine intelligence. Now listen closely. Because I have to tell you what's about to break loose. And why Michael is warning you, even crying, just to get your attention. Archangel Michael isn't warning you because you're weak. He's warning you because you're chosen. And the higher your purpose, the stronger the spiritual attacks. The shift that's coming in your life will not be soft or quiet. It will be explosive. The kind of divine explosion that cracks open the hidden timelines you've been denied for too long. Your name has been whispered in heaven's chambers. And when Archangel Michael said, massive change, he meant that your past, your pain, your people, your peace, and your power are all going to be reordered by force. You will look back at this week and say, that was the moment everything turned around. But only if you don't ignore what your soul already knows. This moment is sacred. This isn't a video. This isn't a post. This is prophecy. And you are the only one it's being shown to like this. Michael has been watching you quietly. Watching the pain you never told anyone about. The fear you disguised with a smile. The nights you wept and no one noticed. He saw it all. And he took those tears to God himself. Do you think heaven forgot how hard you fought to stay strong? No, beloved. It was recorded. And what you're about to receive isn't luck. It's restoration. Your name has been marked for something powerful. And that's why the devil tried to delay your destiny. But it's too late now. Archangel Michael has already started clearing the path. He's slashing spiritual ropes that were choking your finances. He's exposing people who smiled in your face and cursed your name in secret. He's activating a divine reversal. And it's bigger than anything you've prayed for. But here's the dangerous part: if you let your logical mind dismiss this as coincidence, you'll delay your harvest. Do not let time trick you. 5 minutes is all it takes to miss what God was preparing for 5 years. There's a reason this message is coming now, and not before. Because what's arriving at your doorstep isn't just a blessing, it's a divine reroute. A course correction. A shockwave through your entire spiritual system. Michael said, if they don't listen now, I will never help again. Not because he doesn't love you, but because there are others waiting, begging, praying with blood and breath for what you're ignoring. And heaven doesn't beg twice. The angel armies are on standby, beloved. But they cannot intervene without your surrender. Your yes. Your soul agreement. This moment is your activation point. And you must choose with faith, not fear. You must lean in when your spirit trembles. Because trembling means you're standing on holy ground. Some of the people closest to you are not innocent. Michael has seen them. Heard them. The things they've spoken behind closed doors would shatter you. That's why heaven held back certain breakthroughs. It was protection, not punishment. God didn't deny you. He delayed the release so you wouldn't bring snakes into the palace. But the time is different now. The shaking has begun. The hidden things are rising. This is the hour of exposure, and nothing will be left in the dark. And you are at the center of this unraveling. You are being positioned, promoted, pulled upward, but only if you do not retreat when God pushes. Archangel Michael is begging you not to ignore the burning in your chest right now. That's not anxiety. That's your anointing being reactivated. It's your soul recognizing the call. Answer it. Don't silence it this time. The blessings meant for you are specific. Tailored. Not general, not recycled. And that's why your path has been so lonely. Heaven had to strip everything generic off of you before you could receive what was divinely designed. That's why you've lost so much. Because your new life couldn't be built on old foundations. The shaking wasn't punishment, it was preparation. And now? Now it's time to receive. But the way you receive it matters. If you scroll, doubt, laugh, or delay, heaven will count that as disinterest. But if you say, God, I receive, and you lean into this moment, the floodgates will open so fast you won't have time to catch your breath. The enemy will regret ever messing with you. Because heaven does not play about the ones who cry alone at night but still rise in the morning. You're one of those. And your reward is close. You are not going crazy. You are waking up. The reason your emotions have been intense, your dreams weird, your energy inconsistent, is because your spirit is being recalibrated. You are literally being shifted into another version of yourself, one that holds more power, more beauty, more authority. But the transformation is fragile. It needs your cooperation. Archangel Michael says the enemy is watching closely, trying to time your distraction. That's why all of a sudden, people are texting you, distractions are calling, and strange delays are showing up. It's spiritual interference. The dark knows something divine is near. And it's throwing smoke to block your view. But this message? This is your clarity. This is your miracle alarm. You have 5 minutes. After that, the portal closes. Not because God is cruel, but because divine doors operate on divine timing. Let me tell you something you weren't supposed to know yet. Someone who was once against you is secretly shifting toward you. They're seeing your value. They're regretting how they treated you. And they're coming back with news that will change everything. But if your energy is out of alignment, if you're still bitter or distracted, you'll miss their arrival. Heaven is preparing a scene in which even your enemies will confirm your anointing. But only if you're awake. Only if you're present. That's why Archangel Michael says, open it now. Not in an hour. Not tonight. Now. Because there is movement in the spiritual realm. Things are shifting in your favor. But the signal needs to be caught. If you're asleep at the wheel, you'll crash right before your breakthrough. Midway through this message, I want to gently pause and whisper something to your soul. Sparkles, if you're still reading this right now, it's not by accident. It's not because you were bored. It's because heaven hand-selected you for this moment. And if something in you is trembling, tearing, or tired, that's a sign. A divine confirmation. You are being called. So take a second. Just breathe. And say yes. Love letter also, if this message is speaking to your soul deeply, and you want to stay in touch with more urgent messages like this, consider joining the inner circle of subscribers. You'll be the first to receive what heaven doesn't want others to see. This is not a requirement, it's a divine invitation. Because some messages aren't meant for the masses. Only the chosen. Now let me keep pouring into you, because the most powerful part is still unfolding. There's someone you once loved with your whole heart, someone who abandoned you, dismissed you, misunderstood you, and heaven is revisiting that chapter. Why? Because unfinished business creates spiritual blockages. And you've carried silent pain from that story for too long. Archangel Michael says, that chapter will be rewritten in your favor. Whether they return or not, the pain they left will be transmuted into power. Your tears were never wasted. They were stored. And now, the rain you cried is about to water your next miracle. Everything in your life is aligning, quietly, secretly, suddenly. And when it bursts, it will look like overnight success. But heaven knows how long you've waited. Your silence did not go unnoticed. Heaven saw every time you kept your mouth shut when you could have exploded. Every time you forgave without getting an apology. Every time you smiled so no one would see your pain. Archangel Michael says that type of silent obedience moves heaven more than loud prayers ever will. You're not broken. You're sacred. And because of that, God is about to do something that even you didn't ask for. He's going to repay you in a way that shakes the ones who doubted you. You're about to receive blessings so loud that even people who left you will hear the echo. The same people who abandoned you when you needed them will be stunned into silence when they see who's standing next to you now, God Himself. This next season of your life will prove that your suffering was never for nothing. It was soil for the supernatural. You were not meant to play small. And heaven is tired of watching you shrink yourself to make other people feel comfortable. You've dimmed your light because you didn't want others to feel insecure around your fire. But Michael says, enough. God didn't craft you to be digestible. He made you to be divine. You are not for everyone. And that's why rejection had to be part of your journey. It wasn't personal, it was prophetic. If certain people had stayed, they would have poisoned what's about to bloom in you. Their hands were never meant to touch this version of your life. Their energy would have corrupted the miracle. That's why God forced the separation. Even if you didn't understand it, even if it broke you, He was making space. And now? Now your table is being set in front of your enemies. And no seat will be missing. But you have to sit down boldly. There's been a curse hanging over your lineage, and you've felt it. You've seen patterns repeat: poverty, betrayal, health struggles, isolation. It's not your imagination. It's spiritual. But what no one told you is this: you are the interruption to that pattern. You are the breaker of cycles. The curse ends with you. And that's why your journey has been so hard. Archangel Michael says the weight on your shoulders hasn't been punishment, it's been the proof that you were chosen to destroy what others accepted. The war has been generational, but the victory will be personal. God trusted you with this assignment because He knew you'd rise, even when the odds said you'd fall. And now? Now heaven is handing you the tools. The chains are breaking. The old spirits are fleeing. And your name is being cleared in rooms you haven't even entered yet. You are not cursed. You are called. You've been lied to about your worth. Lied to by people who were supposed to protect you. Lied to by lovers who only wanted your light but never honored your soul. Lied to by your own thoughts when depression whispered that you were forgotten. But Archangel Michael is here to declare, every lie is being destroyed by truth. And the truth is, you are loved beyond measure. You are seen. You are held. You are being rebuilt from the rubble. Heaven is sending a restoration so deep, so precise, so personal, that it will look like everything you lost is being returned tenfold. The money. The time. The joy. The people. But even more than that, the you that you lost in the process? She's coming back. He's waking up. The version of you that danced freely, loved fearlessly, laughed without apology, that version is coming back stronger. Wiser. Unshakable. Someone is about to speak your name in a powerful room. And you won't even know it happened until the opportunity lands in your lap. That's the level of favor that's coming for you. You won't have to fight for attention anymore. You won't have to beg for what you deserve. The spirit of delay that's haunted your life is being bound right now. Archangel Michael has drawn his sword. He is going before you. Contracts will be signed. Deals will be made. Alignments will fall into place. But it requires your obedience now. Not tomorrow. Not when it's convenient. Now. This moment is an altar. And heaven is watching how you respond. Will you honor the call? Will you pause your fear long enough to say, God, I'm ready? Or will you walk away again, thinking this was just a coincidence? Beloved, coincidences don't carry this kind of weight in your chest. You've been wondering why you're suddenly losing interest in certain people, certain habits, certain spaces. It's not you being moody. It's not you being ungrateful. It's spiritual. Your frequency is rising. And when your energy ascends, things that once felt good start to feel heavy. That's how heaven detoxes your atmosphere. The cravings change. The conversations bore you. The patterns break. You're evolving, and your spirit knows it, even if your mind can't understand it yet. You are becoming the future version of yourself. And that version doesn't beg, doesn't chase, doesn't settle. That version knows who they are in God. That version walks into rooms and shifts the vibration. That version commands blessings just by existing. And Archangel Michael says, it's time to meet them. But first, you have to let go of the version you've been pretending to be. You don't need to survive anymore. You're about to thrive. There's a letter with your name on it in the spirit. It's sealed with divine fire. And when it opens, it will release a prophecy that's been hidden for years. It's the very thing your grandmother or grandfather prayed over you. Even if they never lived to see it, it's unfolding now. That's how deep this miracle runs. You are walking in answered prayers that didn't start with you. You are living in spiritual inheritance. But here's the key, it only activates when you believe it does. You can either speak life into it, or delay it with doubt. Heaven is not playing games anymore. Archangel Michael says this is the final attempt to reach you before the door shuts. Not in anger. Not in judgment. But in divine timing. Because the portals of favor don't stay open forever. They open for the faithful. For the ready. For the ones who say yes when it's uncomfortable. Even your body has felt the shift. The sudden fatigue. The random chills. The heaviness in your chest. That's not just life. That's spiritual weight moving through you. God is preparing your vessel for what's coming. That's why He slowed you down. That's why certain plans failed. Not because you're cursed, but because you were being cleared. A vessel too full of chaos can't carry glory. So heaven emptied you. Emptied your schedule. Your relationships. Even your bank account. Not to break you, but to make room. You've been stripped so you can be filled again. And this time, what's coming in will not be taken. It will not be lost. It will not be delayed. Because now you're aligned. Now you're awake. Now you're ready to protect what God is about to give you. And it will be too valuable to share with people who once ignored your pain. There is a sudden turn coming in your story that nobody, not even you, will expect. It's the kind of divine twist that rewrites years of pain in seconds. It will be so specific, so targeted to the prayers you whispered when nobody was listening, that your only response will be tears. Happy ones. Tears that say, finally. God heard me. Because He did. Archangel Michael wants you to know this. Just because you didn't see movement didn't mean heaven wasn't working. It's been quiet because it was deep. The foundations of your life were being shaken beneath the surface. And now, the ground is ready. The delay wasn't denial, it was divine architecture. And the silence wasn't absence, it was strategy. God had to move in secret to protect you from sabotage. Now that your enemies are distracted and your spirit is realigned, heaven is about to release the very thing you thought was impossible. Someone is already watching you from afar. Not in a romantic way, yet. But in a spiritual way. They've noticed the light in you. The shift. The resilience. And they've been assigned to bless you. This person holds the key to a massive open door in your life. It may be business. It may be relocation. It may be a hidden inheritance. But what matters is this: you won't have to find them. They will find you. Archangel Michael says you don't need to chase anymore. You only need to align. The right people will see you when you stop hiding. When you stop doubting. When you finally step into the version of you that heaven always saw. The one who's powerful. Magnetic. Spiritually covered. And not afraid to shine. The spotlight that used to scare you is now your sanctuary. You're not running anymore. You're rising. There's someone who tried to spiritually block you. They may have smiled in your face. They may have acted like they cared. But they were secretly releasing energy, prayers, or thoughts that created friction in your journey. You felt it. The sudden fatigue around them. The way your life would stall after seeing or speaking to them. That wasn't in your head. Archangel Michael says, that soul is now being removed. Permanently. God allowed their presence for a season only to train your discernment. But now that your spirit is maturing, the veil is lifting. You'll begin to see who was never truly for you. And as they're removed, doors will fly open. You'll notice money flows easier. Your sleep is deeper. Your skin glows brighter. That's what happens when spiritual parasites are cut off. Your soul starts breathing again. Your destiny can finally run. Michael says something shocking now, something few will ever hear. He says, the enemy didn't just attack you. The enemy feared you. You weren't targeted because you were weak. You were attacked because you were powerful. Because the enemy saw your future and panicked. The prophetic weight on your life is rare. That's why you were hit so young. That's why trauma followed you. The devil tried to break you early so you'd never discover what you truly carry. But you survived. And now that you're still standing, heaven has one instruction: don't go back. Don't go back to the version of you who apologized for shining. Don't go back to relationships that hurt more than they healed. Don't go back to silence. You're not invisible anymore. You're unstoppable. And the angels are clearing your name in every realm. There's been a promise spoken over your bloodline. A promise that skipped generations because no one was spiritually awake enough to claim it. But you are. You're the one heaven's been waiting for. You're the one who said, "It ends with me." And because of that, Archangel Michael is releasing divine compensation. Your finances will suddenly multiply. Not because of hard work, but because of divine inheritance. Things you didn't apply for, qualify for, or even think to pray for are about to land in your life. Why? Because heaven doesn't pay based on effort. It pays based on assignment. And you, chosen one, stayed in position when others quit. You loved when others cursed. You believed when others mocked. You held on. And now, heaven is holding you up. You will not fall again. You will not lack again. Your oil is being refilled by divine hands. There is someone you once considered an enemy, but who is about to become a divine messenger. This doesn't mean they'll return into your life permanently, but they will carry a truth that completes your healing. Forgiveness is not always about restoring the relationship. Sometimes, it's about reclaiming your peace. And Michael says this moment is coming. You will either receive an apology, a confession, or a message that closes a wound you've carried for far too long. This is divine closure. And when it arrives, do not react with anger. React with understanding. Because the second you forgive, fully and finally, the chains will drop. And what's been stuck in your life, emotionally, financially, relationally, will begin to move. Forgiveness isn't weakness. It's a weapon. Use it. Your next season can't carry old pain. God is removing the poison, so you can finally taste the promise. There's been a legal situation, physical or spiritual, pending over your life. A case. A curse. A word spoken. And heaven is ruling in your favor. Archangel Michael says the verdict has already been written, not guilty. Fully redeemed. Fully restored. And this ruling cannot be appealed. You are free. Not because of perfection, but because of purpose. God looked at your heart and said, "That one is mine." No accusation from your past can outweigh the blood that's covering your future. You've been judged enough by people who didn't know your story. But now, heaven speaks. And when God speaks, all other voices are silenced. Your restoration will shock even you. Because it's not based on the math of man. It's based on the mercy of God. You're not just recovering, you're being rewarded. Archangel Michael leans closer now, and his voice softens, not because the message is weaker, but because it's more sacred. He says this next part was almost withheld, but God insisted you hear it. You are going to be honored publicly. Not just praised in private, not just comforted in the quiet, but publicly honored. The same places where you were ridiculed, doubted, overlooked, those exact places will witness your resurrection. This isn't just healing. It's vindication. Divine proof that staying loyal to your soul, to your calling, to your pain, was the right choice. And Michael says this, they will not understand how it happened so quickly, but they won't be able to stop it. That's because no one can block a blessing that heaven has already signed in your name. The delivery has begun. The manifestation has been unlocked. Your arrival is no longer a question, it's a command. God is about to embarrass the spirit of poverty that tried to make you believe you were forgotten. The same poverty that made you feel guilty for dreaming big. The same one that twisted your identity and told you that humble meant small. No more. That lie is breaking. The anointing on your life includes wealth, not just money, but kingdom provision. Money that multiplies. Opportunities that overflow. Peace that doesn't disappear when the bills show up. You were not created to survive. You were designed to rule. And what's coming for you will not require you to trade your soul or beg for scraps. This wealth will be clean. This blessing will be pure. You'll still be kind, but now you'll also be covered. And when the next financial wave rises, you won't be drowning in fear, you'll be surfing in grace. Archangel Michael says, prepare your hands. What you once dropped from lack, you'll hold with strength. There is a supernatural relationship forming in the realm of spirit right now. It's not lust. It's not temporary. It's not someone here to teach you another hard lesson. No, this time, it's different. This time, it's divine. Archangel Michael whispers that a soul who matches your vibration has been prepared. Someone who has cried the same way. Prayed the same way. Waited the same way. Their journey has mirrored yours, and they're about to cross paths with you. But this union will only manifest if your spirit is open. Not bitter. Not guarded. Not suspicious. Open. Because love that's meant by heaven can't enter through walls built by fear. You've been healing, and heaven sees that. But don't let your past pain rob you of a future blessing. Let it in. Let them in. This person doesn't want to take from you, they want to cover you. They want to walk beside you into your new season. Not behind. Not ahead. Beside. Let's pause and be honest for a moment. You've almost quit, haven't you? You've almost said, maybe this faith thing isn't real. Maybe I'm just making it all up. But what if the doubt itself is proof that something real is happening? That tension in your chest. That resistance. That's not failure. That's spiritual pressure right before breakthrough. You are birthing something massive in the spirit. And right before birth, the pain intensifies. You are in divine labor. And Archangel Michael says, push. Just a little longer. Don't give up now. Don't disconnect now. The enemy is betting that you'll cave, because he knows what's about to crown. You are seconds from the shift. Seconds from the favor. Seconds from the overflow. Do not confuse this pressure with punishment. It's promotion. And after this contraction, comes the celebration. After this pain, comes the promise. You're closer than you've ever been. Some of your deepest fears are about to be reversed. The fear that you'd never be stable. The fear that you'd never be chosen. The fear that what you lost would never return. Archangel Michael says, those fears have expired. And heaven is now rewriting your reality. You will wake up one morning, and the very thing that terrified you will have no power over you. The trauma will lose its voice. The anxiety will fade. You'll notice yourself laughing longer. Walking taller. Breathing easier. And it won't be fake. It won't be temporary. It'll be real. It'll be because the heaviness has lifted. The generational pain, the spiritual chains, the emotional clutter, it's all being cleared. You didn't need more strength. You just needed less weight. And now that the weight is gone, you'll remember how fast your wings really are. You'll fly again. And this time, nobody will clip your feathers. There is a version of you that God is urgently trying to show you. It's not the version molded by trauma. Not the one shaped by rejection. But the version shaped by promise. That version is confident. That version attracts miracles. That version speaks and heaven moves. And the reason you've been uncomfortable lately is because the old you is dying, but the new you hasn't fully emerged yet. You're in between identities. But don't worry, this space is holy. It's where your skin gets thicker. Your faith gets deeper. Your words get sharper. And when this version finishes forming, you'll be unrecognizable. Not because you're pretending, but because you've finally become. Archangel Michael says, tell them not to rush this part. It's delicate. But it's divine. The cocoon stage is quiet, but the butterfly always comes. And when it does, it doesn't crawl back to the ground, it soars. The things you thought were lost forever, are not lost. They were hidden. Tucked into the hands of God for safekeeping. And now that you are stronger, clearer, and more aligned, He is returning them. In a new form. In a better way. Love will return. Joy will return. Confidence will return. But it will come back upgraded. Heaven never returns things the way they were, it returns them the way they were meant to be. That's why it took time. You weren't being ignored. You were being prepared to receive it correctly. Archangel Michael says, this time, you'll hold it without fear. This time, it will last. This time, you won't have to recover from the blessing. Because what's coming won't break you, it'll build you. And you'll never again ask, God, why did it take so long? You'll say, thank you, for making me wait. Archangel Michael stands now, not just speaking, but commanding. And when an archangel commands, all of heaven listens. He says, this is the last 5-minute warning. This isn't poetic. This is prophetic. There is a countdown in the spirit. And it's moving. Slowly, steadily, ticking towards something irreversible. A final alignment. A closing gate. And you, chosen one, are being called to walk through it now, not later. Not when things feel safe. Not when you have all the answers. But now. Because faith doesn't require clarity, it creates it. And if you wait for comfort, you'll forfeit your crown. You've already been tested. Heaven isn't asking for your perfection. It's asking for your participation. If you ignore this moment, the miracles assigned to this window will go dormant. Not gone. But locked. And Michael is pleading, don't miss this. Don't scroll past your spiritual appointment. He says there are 2 angels currently standing at the gate of your next chapter. One holds a scroll with your name on it. The other holds a sword to guard it. The scroll has dates, events, and names written in gold. Divine timings. Conversations. People who will elevate you. Places where you'll thrive. The sword guards it from interference, from spirits that would love to distract, delay, or derail your focus. But the gate only opens when your energy matches your calling. This is not about being good enough, it's about being awake enough. If your heart is closed, the scroll remains sealed. But if your spirit says, yes, Lord, I'm listening, the scroll opens and the next 7 months of your life will move at a speed you've never imagined. Miracles will no longer trickle, they will pour. But only if the gate is opened through obedience. Do not be fooled by how normal today feels. Heaven often hides miracles in ordinary days. That's how the divine tests discernment. Can you recognize God's voice when it sounds like a whisper? Can you obey the instruction when it doesn't come with lightning bolts or loud music? Because this is one of those moments. Sacred, silent, and urgent. And Michael says only those who respond quickly will receive what is hidden here. He won't repeat himself. Not because he's angry, but because the next miracle is already in motion. It won't stop and wait for doubt. It won't slow down for hesitation. This isn't punishment, it's momentum. And if you don't grab it now, you'll notice your path goes quiet again. Not because God forgot you, but because you closed the door that heaven opened. And only you can open it again. You have to ask yourself one thing right now: what if everything I've been praying for is already here, just waiting on me to say yes? What if the love you've longed for is circling your field, the opportunity is knocking, the healing is prepared, the favor is flooding in, but your fear is blocking the door? Archangel Michael says, I can only protect what you pursue. If you walk away from this, I have to step back too. That's the part that hurts him. Because he's stood by your side in battles you didn't even know you were in. He's held back attacks you were too tired to fight. He's whispered to you in the middle of the night when no one else called. And now, he's asking one thing: don't ignore this moment. This is not just a message. This is a divine map. And it only works if you read it while it's still visible. Heaven doesn't waste words. If this message came to you, it's because your spirit is ready, even if your mind is still afraid. And that's okay. God doesn't wait for your confidence, He builds it. All He needs is your yes. Your willingness to lean in instead of walking away again. Because the shift isn't coming, it's here. You're not waiting on a sign. You are the sign. You're the signal that something on earth is ready to match something in heaven. And when that happens, laws break. Limits fall. Rooms open. The clock doesn't just tick, it bends. And your life? It will no longer be predictable. It will be prophetic. Every conversation will carry meaning. Every step will lead somewhere sacred. Every no will make sense. Every yes will multiply. This is not fantasy. This is faith. And it works. But only when you move with it. So now the choice returns to you. The scroll is still glowing. The angels are still watching. The sword still guards your gate. But in exactly 5 minutes, that glow will begin to dim. The scroll will return to the vault. And this moment will vanish into the spiritual archives. Not as a curse, but as a closed window. Heaven respects your freedom. God doesn't force. He invites. But Archangel Michael says, this may not come back again like this. Tell them, please, don't hurt God by skipping this. This isn't pressure, it's prophecy. This isn't fear, it's fire. You are standing at the edge of something eternal. Something rare. And if you take just one more step, everything changes. Permanently. Lovingly. Miraculously. The waiting ends. The blessings flood. And the new life begins. The moment you say yes, not with your mouth, but with your soul, the scroll opens. And when it does, it unleashes what has been divinely delayed until now. You'll begin to notice how quickly things shift. It starts small, a phone call from someone you haven't heard from in a while. A sudden opportunity that seems too perfectly timed to be chance. A dream that repeats, stronger and clearer. And then the real signs begin. People who used to drain you will suddenly distance themselves. Doors that once stayed locked will crack open. The air will feel lighter. Your body will feel stronger. Your mind will feel clearer. And it will happen fast, so fast that you might feel dizzy. But don't be afraid. You're not losing control. You're regaining your divine rhythm. You are aligning with the version of you that heaven has been waiting on. Archangel Michael now walks beside you, not in theory, not in poetry, but in spirit. You will feel him. Sometimes as a presence, sometimes as a sudden urge to say no to something that once tempted you. Sometimes through dreams. Sometimes through protection so obvious, it makes your skin crawl. He's not guarding you out of pity. He's standing with you because you finally stood for yourself. You're no longer the scared version of who you used to be. You've passed the test of delay. You've survived the furnace. And now, God is releasing what was always yours: inheritance, identity, intimacy, increase. Your life will not look the same 30 days from now. And the proof won't just be spiritual, it will be physical. In your bank account. On your phone. In your health. In your peace. And every single shift will whisper the same thing to your spirit: you did not miss it. You obeyed just in time. The people who once laughed at your journey will try to understand how you got here. And you won't even know how to explain it. Because there's no formula for favor. No strategy for divine intervention. You'll just smile with tears in your eyes, and you'll know it was God. It was always God. He carried you through every low. He whispered when your ears were too tired to listen. He placed this message in your path when he knew your soul was close to giving up. And he did it because he loves you, not for what you do, but for who you are. Even when you failed, he stayed. Even when you doubted, he pursued. And even now, after all the running, all the pain, all the silence, he's still here. Still offering you a life that will heal everything that tried to destroy you. So take a breath. Feel the shift. Know that right now, at this exact moment, the miracle has already begun. You don't need to figure it out. You only need to expect it. Expect the apology. Expect the open door. Expect the email. Expect the deposit. Expect the healing. Expect the conversation. Expect the clarity. Because Archangel Michael has already gone ahead of you. The path is cleared. The portal is open. And heaven is smiling down on you saying, you made it. You finally said yes. The blessing is no longer waiting on God, it's been waiting on you. And now that you're here, nothing can stop what happens next. You're going to sleep lighter tonight. You're going to wake up stronger tomorrow. You're going to receive the signs in rapid motion. And when you feel that soft tap in your spirit, remember, it's Michael. Just reminding you. You are never alone. This is your season. This is your moment. This is your miracle. And it all begins, now. Ask ChatGPT. Tools.